For the, we can start roll call.
A minute, Uncle. Hold on a minute. So,
If you're having difficulty, shall I do it?
I'm coming now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. All right. All right. We'll start roll call now. Hello, everyone. Can you please hear me? Please confirm at the chat box that I'm audible and clear.
We can hear you,
Please.
you are clear.
All right. All right, thank you very much. So I start IFAT Togo.
IPSF Togo present.
Thank you. AEP Mali.
AEP Mali present.
ASFA Benin.
ASFA Benin present.
SEF AOB DRC.
CBDRC present.
SEFA Burkina
Stefan Burkina present.
Scrutineers, please unmute or remove the one that is not closing the audio, please. GPSA Ghana.
GPSA Ghana present.
KEPSA Kenya.
KEPSA Kenya present.
NAPSA South Sierra Leone.
NAPSA South Sierra Leone present.
TAPSA Tanzania.
TAPSA Tanzania present.
UPSA Uganda.
UPSA Uganda present.
UPSA Uganda.
UPSA Uganda present.
Is Fude having a technical? Fude? Fude? Okay, let me do the roll call again. Sorry for that.
Over to you.
Fude?
Yes, Yao.
How many members do we have present voting? Fude?
Currently, we have 9 and SUPSA have reached out to anyone.
Fude, how many members do we have voting? Fude? I don't know what's happening. Sorry, guys. Let's do the roll call again. So
Yeah, we have
take it
9
from my
members.
side. You have how many? You have how many members present? For this having a technical, please let's run through the roll call again, very quickly. So if I call your name, you just unmute your mic and you say present. So if anyone can hear me, put a Y in the chat box so that we do this quickly. Please put a Y. Can you hear me? Right, so let's go ahead with it. So AP Mali Mali. AP Mali Mali.
AP Mali present.
IPSF Benin. IPSF Benin. Last call, IPSF Benin. Okay, CPUOB DRC.
CPUOB present.
CFAM Burkina Faso.
CFAM Burkina Faso present.
GPSA Ghana.
GPSA Ghana present.
KEFSA Kenya.
KEFSA Kenya present.
NAPSA Sierra Leone.
NAPSA Sierra Leone present.
TAPSA Tanzania.
TAPSA Tanzania present.
UPSA Uganda.
UPSA Uganda present.
Has IPSF Benin reached out to anyone RWG? Last
IPSF
call, if
Benin
not,
is
we
there.
lose voting rights.
IPSF Benin is there, yeah.
Okay, IPSF Benin is there, so we have 10 full members present and voting. Can I have a full member proposing to resume the standing orders? Any proposer? NAPSA Sierra Leone, seconder. KEFSA Kenya seconded. Standing orders are resumed. Fode, can we have the next motion? Whoever is in charge of the system, Fode Kitchen. Right. So, sorry, but we missed this on the agenda before going ahead with the election. So we're going to go through the policy statements for you guys to adopt it. Quickly, we're going to treat it like a procedural motion. When I'm done, if anyone has any issues with it, the resolutions are already in the folder. I believe we've all gone through it. So I'm going to read through it once more before we take a decision on it. So for this mandate, our regional policy was on the 4th Industrial Revolution, pharmacy education and the practice for the 4th Industrial Revolution. So here it reads, the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation, IPSF African Regional Office and its member organizations, recognizing the imminence of the 4th Industrial Revolution, its impact on healthcare in the future, the opportunities it comes with, and the need to capitalize on its benefits, acknowledging the integration and economic growth within the region capable of supporting transformational technologies and the importance of digital health towards universal health coverage. Alarmed by the possibility of the African region losing out on the benefits that would come with the 4th Industrial Revolution, encourage educational institutions and stakeholders to include more of digital health in the pharmacy curricula to place pharmaceutical students in a position better prepared for the 4th Industrial Revolution. 2, encourage governments and stakeholders to promote e-health and mobile services, as well as increasing its reach within their populations. 3, encourage governments and stakeholders to improve access to internet in hard to reach areas in their countries to enable universal health coverage through digital health. 4, health ministries and stakeholders to improve where deficient and promote the use of hospital management systems in healthcare facilities. 5, to recommend regulatory bodies to include topics on digital health during continuous professional development courses to train and keep pharmaceutical workers updated with changes in health technologies. 6, recommend government interventions like using paperless systems in health facilities and look at implementing artificial intelligence in healthcare processes. 7, urge stakeholders and governments to make strategies that are tailored towards a country's specific needs and in circumstances in order to maximize benefits from digital health and health technology. So that's it. It's in the folder. I believe before going through it, I'm going to open floor for discussion. Anyone has any issue with the paper you want to be amended? Anybody? Nobody? Okay, so I'll close the floor for discussion. Fode, you can make the line so that we proceed to voting. You know what, let me just draw the line here. After the line, I'll need scrutineers, RWG meeting secretaries to help me count the ballots. Okay, so you can cast your votes after the line of grant. Is anyone against accepting the document? Anyone against? Okay, no one against, there are no abstentions. So this is the 10th IPSF AfRO Regional Assembly accept and adopt the IPSF AfRO Regional Resolution, Digital Health in Pharmacy Education and Practice for the 4th Industrial Resolution. Thank you. The motion has been accepted. The next motion, please. No, so we're supposed to have the global as well before the election. So I asked Fude to do it. I don't know, I think you didn't do it. So is the motion in there, or this is the next? Fude, did you put in the motion for the global resolution paper? Sorry, let me just correct this. Is Fude in the room?
Yes, yeah, I'm in the room. I've entered. Sorry, I had some connection issues.
I wasn't seeing the global. Don't worry, I'm doing myself.
Oh, sorry. Have we done the regional now?
Yeah, we are done with that.
All right, sorry. Okay.
Okay, sorry for that, guys. So we'll move on with the next. So this is the 10th IPSF AfRO Regional Assembly, accept and adopt IPSF AfRO Global Resolution, Global Pharmacy Workforce preparing for the next decade. So I'm just going to go through it and we'll take a vote on it, and we'll move on to the next agenda. So the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation, African Regional Office and its member organization, recognizing the fluidity of the healthcare profession and the need for the pharmacy profession to adapt to its demands, acknowledging the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal on good health and well-being, with the International Pharmaceutical Federation Development Goals as a directive for pharmacy profession in the next decade, alarmed by the disconnect between the academic curricula and the changing demands of the pharmacy profession, reaffirming the important roles of students' organizations like IPSF as key stakeholders to the advancement of pharmacy profession through advocacy, calls on educational institutions and stakeholders to collaborate and standardize the pharmacy curriculum to adopt it to address the current trends, such as focus on patient-centered care, AMR, technological advancements in virtual healthcare, calls on educational institutions and stakeholders to incorporate more experiential training in the pharmacy curricula, as well as research to address issues of pharmacy practice and expose students to best practices within the profession. 3, emphasizes the importance of available resources, 2, and learning tools to enable pharmaceutical students get the best out of their studies. 4, emphasize the need of early exposure and career training to boost the interest of students in the various fields of the pharmacy profession. 5, supports the expansion of the training of role of pharmacy technicians. 6, urges students' organizations to empower pharmacy students to advocate for the profession and contribute their voice in addressing the gaps in education. 7, encourages pharmacists to specialize and venture into different areas of the pharmacy profession. 8, recommends professional bodies to mandate continuous professional development programs that are relevant to changing demands of the profession to encourage pharmacy professionals to improve skills. I'm going to open the floor for discussion on this. Anyone has any issue with the policy draft? Okay, so I'm going to close the floor for discussion now. So I see no one in the chat box or even no one in the parliamentarian system. So you can vote below the line. We're going to do that. Any abstentions? Anyone against accepting? Any abstentions? Anyone against? Any abstentions? Anyone against? No abstentions, no one against. We do accept this resolution. So this is the 10th IPSF AfRO Regional Assembly accepts and adopts the IPSF AfRO Global Resolution, Global Pharmacy Workforce Preparing for the Next Decade. Thank you all very much, CPs who contributed. It was amazing to work with you throughout the policy sessions. Later on, the resolutions will be, I think, presented to the GA for the final. So thank you very much. Next motion, please. Next motion. Okay, we have the elections for the Regional Media and Publications Officer. This year, I think we did receive just one nomination. We're not going to give the 3 minutes for you to read through his application because we've already had about 2 hours of break. So I believe we should have all gone through the documents during the break. So we're going to give the floor to Mr. Silvanus Manyala. He's the only applicant that we have. So Mr. Silvanus Manyala, you have the floor to give your motivation and you have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Chairperson. My name is Silvanus Manyala from IPSF, Kenya. I wish to present to you my motivation for election as the Regional Media and Publications Officer for the 2021-2022 mandate. So as I indicated earlier in my nomination form, I previously served as a member of the Media and Publications Subcommittee as a social media manager. I doubled that with the Media and Publications Officer duties for IPSF, Kenya for the 2020-2021 mandate. And later on, I helped the regional office in an interim capacity briefly before my nomination was then accepted in an online CP Q&A session. So having joined the RWG almost mid-mandate, I am proud of all that we've managed to do so far. And as a portfolio, hello? Yes, so I believe I'm a fast learner, and that really helped me a lot to get acquainted with the expectations of the responsibility. Hopefully, you all have gone through my nomination. My future plans for these positions go beyond the objectives I set for myself for the remainder of this mandate. With prior and current experience in student organizations and in IPSF, I believe that I have the key ingredients to sort of prepare a sumptuous media and publications recipe for the next mandate. Some of you might be wondering why I did not just execute my proposed plans for this position in this mandate. So I will try to explain. With the sudden resignation of the outgone RMPO, someone had to step up and help continue with the implementation of the position's plans. I was not expected to come up with new inventions or plans that sort of nullified the current portfolio goals. However, I was not limited to creatively include new ideas that would seamlessly be incorporated to better and improve the quality and achievability of the plans. So I came up with simple objectives using the SMART methodology. They are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and of course time-bound, which I believe have been checked so far with time. So the plans for the future have been inspired with the gaps that have been identified and the need to do things differently. Today, I would like you all to consider my election. I will work closely with all the stakeholders that include the CPs, SEOs, the RWG, and even the EXCO through the chairperson for media and publications to sort of implement the suggested plans for the region and also implement some for the federation in the course of next mandate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manyala, for that motivation. We're now going to open the floor for discussion. Anyone has any questions for our nominee for RMPO? Any questions? I'm not seeing anyone in the parliamentarians. Okay, Herman Bazi, go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you for the floor. Manyela, you have already held this position. Why do you want it again?
Thank you, Manyala. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So, like I've mentioned, during the course of my work, the last few months, that's from April till now, and of course, still sort of focusing on the objectives that I set for myself, I have with time identified gaps, areas that need improvement. I have also received ideas from members on what we can include, what we can incorporate. And I would like to have an opportunity where now I have my plans and together with the new RWG, we come together, you put those plans on the table, we mark them, then sort of have a new mandate, annual strategic plan, because currently we are only working with whatever was started from last year, that is 2020 to 2021. But now ideas have come in the course of time, and we might want to implement them. So our next mandate is ideal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tiffany Oba. You have the floor.
Thank you for the floor. Tiffany Oba, IPSF Kenya. I have a question. You have hinted at new plans that you have that you want to incorporate in the next mandate, should you be given the opportunity. So could you elaborate a bit more on these plans and what new things you want to implement in your office?
Yeah, all right. So I'll try and paraphrase because I trust you all have gone through my nomination form. But to respond to your question, first of all, I had an idea for a regional timeline brochure, which is in the form of an annual schedule for all the offices, for all the portfolios and all the activities, including the FPS. So we will come together and develop a document, a publication, which will be available online on our website and also on our publishing platform for publications. So members might be able to, at first, have a glance of what they expect, the activities, the events, and the campaigns they will be having in the course of the mandate. So for example, if it's in December, you will be able to know that maybe sometime in September the following year, you will be able to participate in this event. It will happen during this time. It will be physical, it will be maybe, let's say online, or it will have limited membership or participation. So the brochure will sort of help us encourage participation and also plan ourselves well so that we improve member participation. So another thing would be to sort of restore the regular publication of our newsletters. They are meant to be published quarterly, and so far we've only done one, which was done mid-annually, that's the mid-mandate. So sort of restore that order, then the next mandate might be a good opportunity to look at that. And also introduce online competitions. For example, those that are relevant to media and publications, okay? For example, poster competition, where we have members participating in poster competitions. It's being done in other regions, so why not us? It will improve member participation, it will improve activity, also grow our pages, and yeah, as a region, we will grow. Another thing would be sort of to have an up-to-date website. Currently, we are doing bit-to-bit updates, but I'd like that in the next few months, when you check up our website, every time somebody logs into our website, they have the most up-to-date information. Okay. Also to improve social media analytics, especially this is with regards to the growth, the numbers, the engagement, and the impact, or otherwise the effectiveness of what we do with our social media pages. Lastly, I'll work with the CPs and the SEOs to help market the region internally. So with the CPs, we'll work closely to ensure our members get information as soon as they can. They're encouraged to participate, and we also promote projects done by member organizations. With the SEOs, we will introduce a campaign, and this will be in the form of an online campaign, then will be turned into a document which can be published to promote student exchange program in the continent or in the Afro region. And yeah, lastly would be to implement an idea that came by some time back, which is the Afro summer playlist, which will be played during the FPS 2022. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I think someone was messing the screen. I was trying to take the person out. I don't know what the person intended to do, but I expect the scrutineers to be looking out for things like this. You don't allow people to do that. When you see that, you just take them out of there. Mr. Najim, you have the floor. Do we have Najim, or we can move to the next person?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, we can hear you, Najim. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for your motivations. First of all, I want to thank you for your wonderful job with this Monday. So my question is, what is your plan with the IRC for the next symposium? Because your office is very important. Also, I think many people applied and passed if you do a good promotion of the symposium. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manyala. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So I have been able to attend a previous meeting with the RC for the FPS 2022 in case it's approved. And one of the things that sort of motivated me to participate in that was to sort of now get to see what we might do as the Regional Media and Publications Office. Normally, at the start of the mandate, there's a separate section for media and publications, or otherwise media and communications for the FPS. So the RC has their committee, and they will sort of launch their social media pages, okay, that are cut across all maybe all the platforms that we are in. They will also be working on publications that they feel might market and improve the FPS. So I look at this as an opportunity to work together. I have helped the past FPS RC to market the events, and I think going forward, it's something that we can work on. I'll look at working closely with the RC chairperson to improve on what I felt weren't being done well, especially on updating the social media pages. Okay, so that we don't dwell on only the Afro pages that are active, also the RC pages should be active. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I have Abdelaziz Wabi. You have the floor.
Okay, hello, Mr. Silvanus, and thanks for your words still here. I wanted to ask, as you were already, you have already that position in the past mandate, what were the challenges? And I think you talk about the incompetence of some members in your team, and what were the other challenges, and what will you do to not to avoid these challenges in the next mandate if you are chosen? Thanks.
Thank you, Manyala. You have the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. So yeah, thank you for going through my nomination form. It hasn't been easy, especially the first few months of serving an interim role, because it wasn't something that was expected. It came as a surprise that our chairperson for the portfolio had resigned. So we sort of had things pending. We lacked guidance for some time. And one of the challenges at that point was...
Hold on. I think someone has a technical. Pamela was the key. Does anyone else have an issue? Are you hearing Mr. Manyala clearly?
I'm hearing you guys very clearly.
All right, so please, someone should help Pamela with the technical. Thank you. Manyala, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So, as I was mentioning, at first, in an interim role, that was about 3 weeks, because the expectation was, or the request was to just stand up and sort of help my colleagues who we worked with in the portfolio to sort of ensure things go on smoothly. We implement current projects and also look at doing or having the pending ones done. So the lack of guidance was one of the challenges, because for a while there was little to zero communication amongst ourselves and also from our leader at that time. Then the fact that there's so many tasks. For example, you'll be receiving content from the project office, you'll be receiving information from the chairperson of media publications. Some are also in like external collaborations. For example, the SRHR campaign with the IPSF AfRO. So there's a lot of tasks on our table with sort of limited resources or limited time to implement them. So that was a bit of a challenge. I had to step up and also take charge, because I have a bit of skills in visual and graphic design. I am good at social media management. I can do good video editing. So I decided to chip in. Those members who had problems, I helped out. Then another thing was, I think with time, this cut across also other portfolios. Our members sort of lack consistent motivation to keep doing whatever they do to the best of the region and the federation. So the graph will be like tapering towards the end of the mandate. And I think the lack of frequent interventions, which are engaging, especially from the leadership of the RWG with the portfolio members. Okay, so that was a challenge. I had to seek audience with the then chairperson, who's Isaac. Also set up meetings with the chairperson for media and publication to sort of maybe encourage our members. And I think with time, we sort of did a turnaround. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I have Isaac Nyaibage, TAPSA Tanzania. You have the floor.
Yeah, Isaac. My name is Isaac Nyaimaga from TAPSA Tanzania. Actually, thank you for giving me the floor, Mr. Chairperson Giro. I would like to hit out the question as follows. Since Regional Media and Publication Office is a core office that could improve and attract maybe stakeholders and sponsors to the to I mean to to be part of the region team. I mean to be part of the region funding. So how far does the office can be able to attract the stakeholders and more sponsors to improve, I mean, to fund more than has been, I mean, more than last time they've been funding. So kindly explain such, and also how far can you tell us, I mean, can you connect with other regions to ensure that there is a uniform say? For example, maybe we can have an event, an online event for maybe for African region, that's IPSF AfRO, and the same event can be done by PARO and also your IMRO. So how can you manage such to ensure that we have maybe an inter event done by the maybe 2 regions or 3 regions that could be massively and effective done, and also could act as a motivation to the regular members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isaac, but both questions are quite relevant to his position. The first question about sponsorships and partnerships is under the auspices of Regional Relations Officer, so you can reserve that question for them. The second question, regional collaborations usually is by chairperson and project officer, so I will deflect these questions. Anyone else has any other question? Okay, I don't see anyone else on the floor. Can we move into closed discussion? Can we have the live stream off? Manyala, can we have Mr. Manyala out of the room? Can we have everyone else turn on their camera and raise their hands
just
up?
give me a minute. Let me turn.
Yeah, turn live stream off. So that Manyala, you get out of the
let me stop stream
meeting
first.
room.
Let me stop stream first.